Please listen to the whole essay before commenting. Children's understanding of themselves is still developing, and children can't consent to irreversible hormonal and surgical treatments. There is a lot of evidence that so-called puberty blockers are in reality not safe and not reversible. Without a medical intervention, most children who express a desire to be the opposite sex grow out of it when they go through puberty. This could be simply because children understand the world and themselves in a childlike way, and as their brain matures, they develop a new understanding. On the other hand, children who are put on puberty blockers are highly likely to go through irreversible medical transitioning. Feelings of anxiety and discomfort are common during puberty, and there isn't a way to determine if a person's experience of gender dysphoria is caused by a naturally occurring disorder of the brain or not. The blockers could affect a child's brain development in a way that the child could miss some of the normal brain development that happens during puberty. The medication often used, leuprolide, has been linked to a loss of bone density that may not be reversible, and depression and memory disorders are also listed as possible side effects among a slew of other symptoms. Children on blockers often start hormonal treatment as minors, and the combination of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones causes loss of fertility. Puberty blockers seem to push children who otherwise might desist on a track towards surgeries and lifetime hormone replacement therapy. Uncritical affirmation of trans identity can be an issue. Children react strongly to affirmation, and affirmation of a child identifying as the opposite sex could socially condition the child towards medical transition. This social influencing could come from the parents, teachers, a therapist, the internet, or the child's peers. Children still struggle with comprehending causality and permanence, and they don't understand the lifelong impact a medical intervention will have on them. The research on the supposed benefits of blocking puberty is overall cherry-picked and contains a range of methodological errors. To measure the effectiveness of transgender medical interventions, medical treatment would have to be measured against individual and group therapy with the goal of self-acceptance without the need to medically transition. The therapeutic approach is currently being demonized and even outright banned as so-called conversion therapy, and legitimate therapy forms are being equated with pseudoscientific religious conversion. The current approach rules out non-medical alternative solutions without fairly measuring their effectiveness. Many trans-identified people seem to retain a low state of mental health before and after medical transitioning. This is presented as entirely the fault of the transphobic environment, but there is no evidence for that, as researching the alternatives is either outright banned or heavily discouraged. The promotion of blocking puberty and hormonal and surgical transitioning is lucrative business. After all, the sex reassignment market is already worth more than $600 million and is predicted to triple in value in the next 10 years to a whopping $1.9 billion. To the pharmaceutical industry, the promotion of trans identity is essentially marketing with the goal of growing the industry. Of course, this marketing comes with a human cost. For example, there is a case study where an 18-year-old male teenager died of the complication of a so-called bottom surgery. He had been on puberty blockers as a minor, and as such, his body was not fully developed. In this type of surgery, the male organ is cut open and used to surgically construct an entrance meant to resemble female genitals. However, if there is not sufficient material, a part of the person's colon is sometimes severed and sewn in to extend the newly created cavity. An infection following this procedure is apparently what killed this young individual. You have to ask, what if he could have been helped by therapy instead? Certainly, these treatments did not save his life, quite the opposite. As he was a minor when the medical interventions started, adults made those decisions for him, and he had to have been prepared by the adults around him for genital surgery ever since he was a minor, which eventually led to his passing.